This American Cornhole special presentation is brought to you by
The morning we woke up and it was time to head to Vegas for the World Championships. And you know what? It's the best vacation you're going to have. It's the best time. It's hanging out with great friends, partying and dope beverages. And by golly, it is the best damn cornhole in the country.
So the thing about ACO is we're all like one big family. When I go to these events, I just see people and they're open, they're welcoming, and it's just great to see people around the country and hook up and have a great time.
Kaleb Hurt and Tammy Williams are complete juggernauts this weekend.
In one corner I've got our Goliath team and Tammy and Kaleb from Virginia. Tammy has been with us for years. Kaleb is a young gun on the ACO tour.
Kaleb and Tammy didn't have a traditional route to the finals. They're both great individual players. They play for a very strong group, Shenandoah Valley Cornhole. Their families are great friends. They played against each other all the time, but they hadn't been a co-ed team during the season. They only teamed up late in the year, so their on-court chemistry was still to be determined. With a stacked field like the world's, it's anyone's guess.
Then in the opposite corner, we have our David team. A team some might think came from nowhere. Who are these players from Wisconsin? Well, it's a father and a daughter. It's a team that are relatively new to the ACO.
Not many people knew about them. I believe it was the Iowa major for season 14. He had a huge airmail drag over a blocker to actually win that major. And the excitement on her face after that was just priceless.
Maggie and Wayne aren't playing around with Tammy and Kaleb. They came to compete, they came to fight, and rest assured, they came to win. This is awesome, baby. Season 14 was the second season for the ACO to run the co-ed division, and it has become the fastest growing division in our sport. We had teams that came out to Vegas this year from all over the country to compete, such as Caldwell and Webb from Illinois, Harrison and Smith from Indiana, and the Englishes from Kentucky. There was a lot of other teams that came out, and the competition level was very, very good, and it's only getting better. You've got to love this co-ed division.
Let's talk a little bit about Kaleb Hurt and Tammy Williams coming in this World's 14 co-ed bracket, and how they've been just owning everyone, taking out Keith Blair and Tracy McMitchin right off the bat, and then tackling Cook Majors and TJ Miller in that matchup, and then progressing all the way through to Geiger and Rao, where they took them out of the winner's side of the bracket on center court and they sent them to the loser's side, and then had to face a really, really tough matchup with Josh Glover and Linda Oglesby, that took them to the finals, and then they came back, and they're really going to have to tackle this situation with Geiger and Rao tactfully and just take every shot that they can and make it effective and nothing off the board. Just really increase their accuracy and just put the bags in the hole. And look over there, I see Maggie Geiger and Wayne Rao just watching the competition, the smart team tactics of scouting out your competition.
In the losers bracket, There is nothing glamorous. Your matches aren't likely being live streamed. Very few fans are paying much attention to you. And it becomes a dogfight, a war, an absolute bloodbath down there. Because if you lose this time, you know you're done for good. Eventually, though, a team or player rises from the ashes and ends up finding themselves on center stage.
When you get to the World Championships, the skill level here is unlike anything I've ever seen before.
This year's center stage was certainly one of the best in the history of the sport, as it was showcased at Topgolf Vegas.
Oh, what an exciting night. You know, there really was an electricity in the air, and as I stood there in the center of it all, looking out over the crowd that was looking out over this massive new center court at Topgolf, it hit me just how badass this championship night was going to be. 3 levels packed with ACO family, friends, and fans, all laser focused on center court.
So once we got to the World Championships, we're watching on the main stage at Topgolf. You could tell that they were very, very nervous. They were the first game out of the gate on the big stage that nobody had played a game on yet. When you're playing Tammy Williams and Kaleb Hurt, it's hard not to be nervous, but I knew they had the capabilities to at least try to get the work done.
Here I am watching the co-ed match and struggling as usual who to pull for. Even if I was able to pick a team, it'd be difficult, especially in this situation.
William Howell here, John Brinkus and Finn, right to left. Big shots.
Big shots. It's like you can feel the energy here at Topgolf, right?
Pretty incredible.
The energy affects the way that someone throws, right? You have a little bit too much adrenaline going through your body. You know, literally, if you throw even a half mile an hour, you can be off by as much as a foot.
And it's, you know, just mostly about nerves. And for me, it's about nerves, but these folks, they don't have any kind of nerves, it doesn't seem like it. They made it all the way to the finals and are throwing darts still.
Let's talk a little bit about momentum from that first match with Virginia Tech in it. You know, Tammy Williams and Kaleb Hurt, just using that momentum from that second frame of Kaleb Hurt's that he put up 9 points on Wayne Rao. And that may have been the key point of that first game for those two. You know, Wayne and Maggie are completely, you know, at the top of their game, and they're, you know, the utmost professionals. So I'm not so sure that they're shaken from that, but you know, it was a tiny setback. So let's check out what happens in this second matchup. Can they bring it back?
You know, I think something too, we talked about the strategy of control the hole, but so often I've seen over the years, and everybody said, if that first bag goes in, there's a great chance all 8 of them are going in. If that blocker's not placed right out of the chute, sometimes it'll just be boom, boom, boom.
I just couldn't see the bag, or else that would have been very indicative of what type of shot you're going to take. Yes.
That's just a wasted bag. Is there any fight left? That's the question.
Whether it's at ACO Majors or at these World Championships, you have it all, the drama of competition and yet the camaraderie that comes along right there with it.
And she goes around it. All right, how many frames was that? 3? All right. On 7. All right. 3 on 7.
The chance to be surrounded by hundreds of ACO family and friends that would give anything to be in your shoes, but are there to cheer you on because they know the countless hours and thousands of bags it takes to get to that final match.
Blow for blow.
Blow after blow for blow, they're right in the hole.
Oh, that could be
Really.
that right there. Just that coughed everything.
+2.
Yeah,
it earlier, John. Tammy's, that spin that Tammy's putting on the bag comes in low and hot. But yeah, Maggie's tends to float a little bit and then kind of hit the board and figure out where it needs to go.
Yes!
Nicely answered by Tammy Williams there. Right in about 4 o'clock. Give her two.
Wade helps him with that bag over on the right side. Kaleb's going to push through. He pushed through on the wrong side.
Wow. Great opportunity there for Wayne.
Oh, that's called not what he intended.
There it is.
That's it. It is 6. And it is 6. 7 was a good line.
You know what was most impressive in this co-ed doubles finals was that Maggie Geiger and Tammy Williams went back and forth, matching each other throw for throw throughout this entire matchup. And that, you know, that could be interpreted as pro versus upstart. Does experience do the talking here? And maybe we've seen a little bit of that happen this evening with Tammy Williams sealing that fairy tale ending shot in that round and taking them to that first win in this best 2 out of 3.
You know, there was no better way in the world to begin our championship night than with the fan favorite co-ed championship match. The crowd was way into it, the players really delivered, and just like the rest of the matches that night would do, it showcased firsthand what makes the ACO so special in the world of professional sports. So while you may be saying, wait a minute, doesn't David beat Goliath in that story? It turned out that even though Goliath proved too powerful to overcome on the scoreboard, David definitely walked away thinking, just wait till next time.